y'all. My name is Kayla. I am 25 years old. I love to read. I've always been a big reader, and I actually have had a few friends tell me that I should talk more about books that I read because they're starting to get into them. And someone actually just recently told me I should try a YouTube video. So this is the first time I've ever done this. I'm filming this on my phone, so no judgment, please. The editing may be a little random. I don't know yet, but we'll see. So this video, I'm just gonna do the books that I read in January 2025, and if I like how it ends up, I'll do like a little intro video and then maybe some more videos. I don't know. So we're gonna start off with what I read in January. So I read 17 books in the month of January, which is actually kind of high for me. But with Onyx Storm coming out this month, I wanted to kind of get ahead of that in case I ended up in a slump, which I did. So I read 9 physical books and 8 books on Kindle Unlimited. I did not read any audiobooks this month, which isn't very surprising for me. I'm just now kind of getting into audiobooks. But whenever I film a video for February, I have one that I've already finished for that. So starting off with physical books, I read Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I loved this book. I rated it, I think, 4 out of 5 stars. I don't know if that messed up my mic or not. I don't know. We'll see whenever I go back and edit this. Like I said, this is my first time, so I'm a little nervous. Anyways, Magnolia Parks is basically childhood best friends that they don't act like they're right for each other, but they are right for each other. There's a lot of love and betrayal, and I love it. But I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. I also already posted a review for it on my Bookstagram. Yeah, I already posted a video on that, so I'll try to add a link or something here if I figure out how to do that, or I'll just somehow share how to do that. So yes, so you can go check that out. Next is The Choice by Nicholas Sparks. I have a lot of Nicholas Sparks books, so I'm trying to get through all the ones that I haven't read yet. And this was one of them. So yes, it's kind of like fate and full of a lot of hard decisions that people have to make, but I loved it. Next was me preparing for Onyx Storm, and so I kind of needed a kind of trilogy or series to kind of go ahead and jump ahead on my numbers for the month. So this trilogy I actually read back in middle school, and it's kind of like a comfort read for me whenever I need to get out of a slump, and that is the Trial trilogy by Amanda Hocking. So this one is kind of like she's switched at birth and kind of goes through this journey of finding her family, finding out who she is, that sort of thing. I've always loved it. If you have younger siblings, this is a great one to check out. The first book is Switched, and then Torn, and then Ascend. I love it. If you have younger siblings that are wanting to get into fantasy, this is a good introduction. There is a little bit of language in it if that's something that you worry about. But other than that, it's a great intro into the world of fantasy. And then the last physical book that I read was Jacqueline in Paris. So this one I've had since October 2022. You can see right there, it's book of the month. I have a really bad habit of not reading books on my TBR, and this book was sadly a part of that because I really did enjoy this book. I think I rated it like 3 or 4 stars. It wasn't my number one, like top, like it wasn't a 5 star because it's not my normal genre. It was historical fiction, and it's actually about Jackie Kennedy and her junior year of college where she did like study abroad. I really did like it. It just wasn't my usual. But yeah, so I don't really know what else to say about it. But like I was saying, like I have a bad habit of not reading books, and if I do an intro video, I have like a little jar with book titles in it that are on my TBR that I kind of like force myself to read each month because I know I need to actually read them. And this was actually how I ended up reading this month, was because it's been sitting there for a minute, and it's one of the ones that I drew for this month. So that's all of the physical books. So moving on to Kindle Unlimited, I'm going to try and like put the picture somewhere right here.
Okay, y'all, so I was in the middle of editing, and again, I'm not the best editor at all. I can't upload it as one full video for some reason. I have to break it up into two. I don't understand that, but I was trying to do it, and I can't exactly time it up right. So this is just a quick intermission video so it doesn't completely spaz out from one clip to the other. So, hope you enjoyed.
Of the books as I talk about them. I don't really know how to do that, but I'm going to figure it out. So, first, I started off the month actually finishing Hunting Adeline. I started and finished Haunting Adeline in December 2024. Then I finished Hunting like January 1st or 2nd, and so that kind of put me in a little bit of a slump too. But that one is heavy, dark romance. Trigger warnings. Make sure that you read it. If you're not a normal dark romance kind of person, don't recommend it for you. Quite honestly, especially if it's your first dark romance, I don't recommend that at all. So then I read one of Kate Oliver's books. Again, I'm going to try to put it right here. It'll be somewhere in this area. But I read one of her books. Kate Oliver writes a lot of age gap books, which I like for like quick reads whenever, again, if I'm going for a slump or I just don't want to read a full book, I can usually read one of her books in like 2 hours. So that one, yeah, I love hers strictly because they're quick reads, and not every book that I read needs to be ginormous. So then I read the Hawkeyes Hockey series by Kenna King. I read the second, third, and fourth book, which is Filthy Score, Brutal Score, and Rough Score, I think. All of those, I love those. I love that whole series. I actually finished the series in February, earlier this week, I think, actually. So Filthy Score is enemies to lovers, fake relationship. Love it. Brutal Score was nanny, dad, one night stand kind of deal. A little interesting how that worked. I loved it though. And then Rough Score was a marriage of convenience, but also a little bit of forced proximity. So that whole series, love it. Chef's kiss. Then I read Promise Me by Ashley Rose, which is kind of like a brother's best friend. It was good. It wasn't my absolute favorite. I think I rated it like 3 stars. So it was good, but wasn't my favorite. However, I would read one of her books again. I think this one, the style of the writing kind of threw me off a little bit. So again, I would read one of hers again, but this one just wasn't 5-star material to me, but that's just me personally. Then I read God of Malice, which I actually was at Target the other day, and they had books on sale, and so I ended up getting it while I was there, and I need to carefully get the sticker off. But I love the sprayed edges, and so this one I really did love. I loved this. I really did. However, I think I only gave it 4 stars because the style of writing was a little, I don't know, all over the place. But I feel like also this was the first book in this is in the Legacy of God series. This is the first book in it, and so I feel like there was a lot of world building plus like introducing characters and like their background. So I think that kind of just drug it on for me because I'm on the 4th one right now, and the 2nd and 3rd I flew through. So I think it was just the fact that this was an intro book for me, and it just didn't hit the way that the others have for me. And then lastly for Kindle Unlimited was Bad Little Bride by Megan Brandy. I had read some of her other books, specifically sports romance books that she's written, and I loved them. And so this one actually popped up on TikTok, so I read it. And it's kind of like mafia, arranged marriage, but a little bit of miscommunication, but not that kind of miscommunication like you would think of. It's more of like they're just not open with each other about everything, and honestly, I loved it. I did forget to mention also when I was talking about the physical books that I read, Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, and Onyx Storm. I just don't have those with me at the moment, so I forgot to mention those. But I loved Onyx Storm. I reread Fourth Wing and Iron Flame to prepare for it that weekend before. And whenever I'll use this for example since I don't have it. I turned like I was reading the last page of Onyx Storm, and then I think all of this just kind of flipped, and then there was nothing, and I kind of freaked out a little bit, and I went back and read the last chapter again, and again I was just confused. I was like, surely like there's a typo or something, and then I realized I was not the only one that's freaking out. So Rebecca, Rebecca Yaros, I need you to hurry up on book number 4 because it was just honestly so good. And I love Zayden. I love that whole series. I love the Empyrean series. Um, so yeah, that's kind of a little wrap up on books that I read in January. I actually enjoyed this. I could probably talk more in depth about the books if I wasn't so nervous right now. But for now, this is my first YouTube video. I will try to film an intro video after I figure out how the whole editing process works because this is about to be very interesting to figure out. So, yeah, hopefully I can do this more. And yeah, that's it. So, I hope everybody has a great day. If you have any questions about the books or anything, I'll try to put my Bookstagram handle in the description of this video when I post it, when I figure out how to do that. So, yeah, I hope everyone has a great day.